the levels. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I am Juanqui and welcome to my world. Hello, Miss Viewers of You. Thank you so much for coming through, for thumbing it up, and for sharing it. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. It is so hot. The music or like weather-wise, I am under the ACs over here. Yeah, I'm on the ACs over here. I had a long day. I had a 10-hour office day today. 10 hours. 10 hours. But they were productive. I have a slight headache. I haven't had a headache from work in a long periodical time. But listen, along with the more money and more elevation comes, a headache here and there. So it is what it is. Anyway, we are here to do our confession. Well, not our confession. We're going to listen to somebody confess. Okay. And this one is entitled I was an internet catfish from 2018 to 2025, and I'm scared of being haunted for it. Haunted. As the title says, I was the biggest internet catfish for 7 years. I am not exactly sure what happened for me to start catfishing. I did not understand what it was, and all I knew was since it was the internet, I can be anyone I wanted to be. One random day in 2019, side note, 2019, before or after the events. I almost feel like I have absolutely blocked that whole period of time. It's like I don't remember it. I have to really think, and then I remember the daily briefings in New York City. I remember the coffins being piled up, and let's not talk about that right now. Let's get back to the catfishing. I can be anyone I wanted to be. One random day in 2019, I came across this girl and just decided to forever use her photos for my schemes. Baby. That's why I've always been very selective of the pictures that are out there floating of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know every picture that's out there of me. And, whether the headshots from theater or like this painting, this art painting right here, like it's very, like all through 2019 to 2025, I was a catfish and a scammer. Not a double. Not him DPing people. I created multiple social media accounts, a TikTok, an Instagram, a Twitter, etc. Posting as a girl from 2019. Posting as the girl from 2019. She is extremely conventionally attractive, but wasn't big on social media. So I accumulated around 7,000 followers on TikTok, 4,000 on Instagram, and over 10,000 from Twitter using this girl's photo. I would talk to men in a romantic way just to end up asking for a bunch of gifts and money, or I just flat out only built relationships solely for them to give me money and gifts. You can consider this fandom. Do your own research. Oh, no, don't give me a moment to fire up my AI. Where's my AI at? Hello. Good evening. Okay. Good evening. How's it going? It's going fine. I want you to tell me everything about becoming becoming a, what did he call it? He called it femdom. A femdom. What is femdom? Let's see. I just asked my AI to tell me everything. My AI says, happy to help with this. Here's a solid overview of what becoming a femdom typically involves. The core concepts, Ms. View. Femdom, a female domination. Ooh. Is a BDSM dynamic where a woman takes the dominant role with a submissive partner of any gender. It's not one fixed thing. It spans everything from light power exchange to more intense practices. Getting started. Self-reflection first. What draws you to it? Control, service, psychological power, physical dominance. Different femdom lean into different flavors. Strict, disciplinarian, nurturing, mommy dome, sadistic, service-oriented. Provide the services. Next is education. Read BDSM 101 resources before diving into specific acts. Good starting points are books like The New Topping Book by Janet Hardy and Dossie Eastern, or communities like Felt Life, a kink-focused social network. I have to be very careful because this is not our Friday show. I don't know what kind of hole we have fallen into, but let's make it out the other end, right? Communication skills matter more than technique. Dominating well is largely about listening, negotiating, and reading a partner. Oh, I could read a bitch. Not about being naturally bossy. See, I will fail at this, Miss View, because I'm a bossy shorty over here. Like I wake up being a boss. So safety fundamentals, consent and negotiation. Before any scene, discuss limits, safe words, and what each person wants out of it. So climax. Aftercare. Both partners often need emotional, physical care, I bet. After intense scenes. Doms too, not just the subs. Okay, subscribers, we don't, not just you, but risk awareness. If incorporating impact play, what the fuck, impact play? You gonna beat me? If incorporating impact play, restraints, or breath play, learn proper techniques from reliable sources. Improper techniques can cause real injury. Build the role. Confidence is learned, not innate. Many femdoms say it grew through practice and feedback from partners. Wardrobe, personas, leather, latex, specific personas is optional, aesthetic, not a requirement. Consider whether you want this as a private relationship dynamic or broader lifestyle identity, or for some, professional dominance, since those paths differ a lot in scope and structure. Want me to go deeper on any part of this, like negotiation scripts, specific dynamics, impact? I know, Miss View, impact play. Oh my God! Now let's get back to the confession. I have been called out and exposed multiple times over my catfish spree. The girl eventually started watermarking some of her posts because I assume some people I catfished told her about me. Me being completely insane and unhinged, it was kind of hard to erase something from a photo video, so I'd generally spend 20 to 30 minutes finding out ways to remove her watermark. I used to get a lot of searches of people trying to find out who I am, though my number or email, through my number or email. Shout out to Google settings, laughing out loud. Or if they caught me in time before I disable my accounts, they confront me and threaten to try to find me. I think only two successfully have, but never did anything with my information. In 2025, I started realizing that the girl I was catfishing as was becoming too big online in certain communities, so it was getting harder to catfish as her. I started getting called out faster and faster, and it was getting exhausting. Huh? Are you getting exhausting? No, how about the mental health part? At this point, I wasn't really using her face for friendships or relationships anymore, just purely to scam men out of money. I think in total over the years, I have handedly scammed over $65,000 in the form of online bank transfers, gift cards, gifts from Amazon, and food. Not the food, not scamming for food. I no longer catfish. I deleted every single trace of me off the internet. I have deleted every social media account and anything I had of her in general. I feel an immense guilt for what I did. Oh, it's so interesting. They always feel guilt after the fact, after she has pocketed and used 65K, right? And got everything she wanted at the time. Now she wants to reflect and feel bad about it. How about you go to the nearest NYPD precinct, walk up in there, tell them exactly what you've done, how much money you have stolen from people and played people with, and tell them you feel really guilty about it and you're ready to start paying for your sentence. See, you feel bad, but not that bad, right? You feel bad, but not that bad. Not I'm going to go ahead and sit a few years down in the cell, okay, and think about what I did. No, not like that. No. But I feel bad on social media. Let me post this up. But I won't go make it right. I won't return 65K. All right. I feel an immense guilt for what I did. I've met so many genuinely nice people, and I always felt like shit just lying and stealing from them. Well, at least you're calling yourself what you are, or that you were stealing. You're calling it a thing. I have confessed this information to my partner, only the scamming part. Every day I live in fear that it might come back to bite me in the ass, or that I may have hurt someone so much with my lies that it affected them forever. Probably. Bitch, probably. Let me tell you something. Shit, taking $1,000, $5,000 from somebody can really hurt them and send them in a slippery slope of debt and situations. Ain't no telling what they did to get that money, to get it to you under the, fog of whatever it is that you were presenting. Absolute trash. And karma has built for you. Somebody says, may you reap what you sow. Somebody says just karma. Somebody says you victimized so many and now you're scared of being victimized of your victimizations, which will be only fair. You need to think about doing as much more or really good things in your life to balance out your conscience and change your outlook and status. If you care about being a decent person at all, kind of looks like you were forced to stop and you really don't care about being decent though. Read. So don't expect much compassion here. I do like I people get very, very rightfully so sensitive about this. Somebody says, I wonder what legal actions could be taken against you. I'm thinking that because one real way to I'm thinking that because one real way to help mail this right make she made this person meant make one way to help make this right is to do PSAs in schools or communities and teach people how to avoid being catfish or scam. And I'm guessing you don't want to put yourself out there like that. Preventing this from happening to others will be the only way to help make it right. And let me tell you something. I used to watch that show Catfish, and of course that's produced and edited and possibly somewhat scripted at times. Certainly like the lines and stuff like that, not the lines that people were saying, but like the hosts and all that. So there's a production aside to that, but it was sad sometimes to see the type of people that will, that wanted to run away from their reality so much that they will go into this fantasy world and then just fall in love completely with the thought and the idea and the illusion that some scammer is presenting to them. And then it's like these people prefer to live in this fantasy world somewhere in social media, in the internet, in the web, because they don't want to live their regular lives and be out and about with like regular people. It's also true that a lot, I don't want to say a lot, but not everybody's playing with a full deck that's being catfish, you know? I have seen it once. Not everybody's playing with a full deck, and you don't, and then people are like really. But I have heard folks talk about it. But people really fall into these personas, and and they're. It's just, I just think it's horrible. I think it's horrible. I'm gonna ask the AI. Why do people catfish? Catfish. And should I become a catfish? Become a catfish. I want to see how good my AI is or how bad it is. Let's see. I've asked the AI, Miss View, why do people catfish? Why people catfish? Common motivations: insecurity, using someone else's photo to seem more attractive than they feel they are, to get attention or validation they don't think they'll get as themselves. Loneliness and escapism, creating a different identity to explore relationships or attention without the risk of being, quote, seen as themselves. Testing partners. Some catfish an existing partner to test their loyalty. This backfires constantly and destroys trust even when successful. Financial scams, building fake romantic relationships specifically to manipulate people into sending money. This is called a romance scam. This is the most damaging category and often organized and criminal. Boredom or social experimentation, less malicious, more, quote, let's see what happens, end of quote, though still deceptive. Gender identity exploration. A smaller subset use a different persona to explore aspects of identity in a low stakes way. Still involves deceiving the other person, which is the core ethical problem regardless of motivation. Now my AI is going to tell me. I asked, should I become a catfish or not? My AI is telling me, should you do it? No. I steer you away from it. Whatever the motive, catfish means deceiving another real person about who they're talking to or forming a connection with. That's the harmful part, not just an incidental detail. Even, quote, harmless catfishing causes real emotional harm when discovered. People describe it similarly to others' betrayal of trust. can drift into more serious deceptions without you meaning to it. That's when it gets too deep and you don't know how the F to get out of it. It also has legal exposure in some cases, such as identity theft if you use real photos or some of someone without consent, fraud if money changes hands. If what's underneath this is wanting to explore a different person, more confidence, or a different way of presenting yourself, there are ways to do that without deceiving someone else. Role play with consenting partners. Who knows? It's role play. Anonymous accounts that don't impersonate a specific real person, or communities built around persona, character exploration. Okay. All right, AI. Miss View says this is dangerous. I vaguely remember the story of somebody in our social circle that he took the train. He was on the train, and there was this man just staring at him. It was a gay circle. There was this man just staring at him, and it made him feel uncomfortable. When he got off the train, the man got off the train with him. I don't remember the very specific, but because this is a long time ago. This story was told during brunch with drinks and lit and drag queens and the whole nine. But long story short, the man approached them because he thought he had been talking to him his view on like whatever is the equivalent of the grinder back in that time. Drop a bomb on that. And so my acquaintance had to, first of all, my acquaintance was really like shocked and embarrassed and the whole nine. But my acquaintance had to tell him, like, no, that's not me who you've been talking to. And the person, like felt ways about it. But could you imagine, like you said, this could be something very dangerous, especially in the sense where it's like a woman, and all that. Like, people are crazy. People are crazy. And, a city like New York City, you would think, oh, it's so big. New York City is but so big. Okay, I used to see people all the time. And I knew people just by face, Miss View. Okay? I used to see people online, social media, whether it was Facebook, MySpace, whatever, Black Planet, Black People Me, Black Planet, Mi Gente, which was the Latin version of it. And people used to have their pages and stuff like that. And then you will see them walking about. And this wasn't even geographically, it was just like on the platform in New York City. And you will see them in the park. You will see them in parades. You will see them in festivals. You will see them on a train. You will see, and it's like, if somebody's catfishing and has created this drama, you could go outside and get beat the fuck up. Meet up to get beat up. Without you knowing a damn thing. It's just, I steer clear of that. Like, if you want to role play like the advice suggests, find the communities. There's weird ass communities of everything. There's cosplay. They even have fucking conventions and everything down there at the Javits Center. A whole bunch of psycho looking motherfuckers dressed like comic books and shit, fairy tales and fairies and God wishes and go find your tribe, but don't involve somebody else who you could be putting in harm's way. People are fucking crazy. Anyway, I want to thank Miss Viewers of you for coming through. I know Naris 21 is going to catch the replay in the morning. If you are here live, please hit the like button. If you are here in the replay, please hit the like button. I do this every night. Every night I do this. Miss View says, right, meet up to get fucked up. Right there. Oh my gosh. All right. With that said, I wanna wish you guys a good night, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Get some rest. I'm ready to go to bed. Good night. Peace.